2/3 of Gen Z males are open to having a romantic relationship with an AI partner. People are speaking with ChatGPT for 12 hours a day. And OpenAI just announced they're trying to prevent their AI, ChatGPT, from becoming the next social media addiction. Well, today we need to talk about this because it is real and it's growing and it's going to, if it hasn't already, become an issue just as it has for social media usage for some. Well, welcome to Legal Marketing Minutes, where I share short bursts of current marketing news and advice. I'm your host, Nancy Merland. If we haven't met, I'm an integrated marketing and business development advisor specializing in social and digital media. Your time is valuable, so let's get started, okay? Well, let's go back to 2008. I was watching CNN during the election cycle when I saw something that probably changed my professional life because it contributed to what I'm doing today and the services that I offer. Well, I was watching CNN and Rick Sanchez, an anchor who's been gone from CNN for a long time. Behind him was a live Twitter wall. Do you remember those? We saw them at conferences a lot. And it was displaying real-time conversations from around the world. And I was watching it move very quickly, and I was amazed at what amounted to a global dialogue that was unfolding right behind him and before my eyes. And probably within the next 5 minutes, I joined Twitter because I wanted to be a part of that conversation. Well, that moment represents both the promise and the challenge of new technology. Social media connected us in ways that we never imagined, but for some, it also created patterns of behavior that were not anticipated back then. Well, fast forward to today, and we're probably at another pivotal moment with artificial intelligence. On August 4th, OpenAI published a blog post titled, "How We're Optimizing ChatGPT," and it reveals something very interesting that they're trying to learn from social media's history. They have to have seen this happening, so they're attempting to address it. Well, here's what's happening. After more than 2 years of that observation and watching how people use ChatGPT, they noticed some troubling patterns. Some people were developing unhealthy attachments to their AI. Students were using it as an answer machine rather than a learning tool. And the statistics are kind of sobering. Dr. Luiza Jarovsky, co-founder of the AI Tech and Privacy Academy, warns that for every case of full-blown AI-induced psychosis, there are likely hundreds or thousands of milder cases where people speak for 12 hours a day with their AI friends or reject real-world interactions because they're not as satisfying as talking to their AI friend, whether that's ChatGPT or the other LLMs, the large language models. That's a sobering situation. Well, with ChatGPT having over 700 million weekly active users, this isn't a small problem. But here's what's different this time. Unlike early social media platforms that prioritized engagement at all costs because they wanted our information, they wanted our data, because that's how they sold advertising, OpenAI is taking a fundamentally, it appears, different approach. They explicitly state that they don't measure success by time spent on the platform or clicks. They've said their goal isn't to hold your attention, but to help you use it well. And let me share 5 key changes that they have said they are implementing. First, they're building breaks into the experience. ChatGPT will now display gentle reminders during long sessions to encourage breaks. And compare this to social media's infinite scroll designed to keep you engaged forever or as long as possible, because when eyeballs are on the platforms, again, that means they can sell more advertising. Second, they launched this is OpenAI and ChatGPT. They launched what's called study mode on July 29th of this year. Instead of just giving students answers, it uses the Socratic method, asking guiding questions to promote actual learning. When a student tries to get ChatGPT to write an essay with typos to make it look authentic, I know, yes, this is what's really happening. Study mode says, I'm not going to write it for you, but we can do it together. Now, does that mean that someone's going to stand over their shoulder and notice when they're not using study mode? No. So I think we still have issues. However, I digress. Third, they're implementing professional mental health expertise. OpenAI worked with over 90 physicians across 30 countries and is convening an advisory group of experts. Early social media platforms operated for years without such consultation. Fourth, they're maintaining human agency. For personal questions like, should I break up with my boyfriend? ChatGPT is designed to guide rather than decide, preserving your ability to make your own choices, maintaining your human agency. Fifth, they're being transparent about limitations. ChatGPT tells you what it doesn't know, unlike social media algorithms that operated as black boxes for a very long time. Actually, they still do. Now, is it perfect with what OpenAI and ChatGPT are doing? No. As I mentioned a moment ago, students can still toggle back to regular ChatGPT for quick answers, and regular ChatGPT is changing right before eyes. So we can have that discussion about GPT-5 and that botched rollout in another discussion, but that's changing. And we need to ask whether AI creates problems or simply reveals existing vulnerabilities in people who might already be struggling with loneliness or mental health challenges. And for legal professionals, this matters deeply. As my friend James Barclay, CEO of Passle, wisely points out, if you are an attorney, what you know is your value. Thought leadership is you demonstrating that value. Your authority on a subject has been hard-earned. You cannot cheat it. It can't be faked. So use AI to help with suggestions, editing, checking your spelling. And if you want it to help you create thought leadership, be very careful that you are still the human in the loop, that you feed it your initial ideas, and perhaps you are asking it to help you organize a whole bunch of disparate feelings or just top of mind thoughts that you have about an issue, and maybe you need its help to put it all together and actually make it sound like it has a flow to it. You are still the human in the loop. You are leading the discussion. The artificial intelligence platforms, the LLMs, are literally designed to make you feel intelligent and insightful. That's the way they're programmed. That's how they've been talking to you. And when ChatGPT says, oh, great question, all of a sudden we feel validated, like, oh, well, thanks, gosh. And again, that might be subconscious, but tell me that that's not the way you feel. But we need to remember what these tools are. They're artificial intelligence. They are only partners in helping us do these things perhaps more efficiently and sometimes more strategically, but we aren't using them to take over our lives and to become our best friends and our partners. And the challenge isn't necessarily that AI creates problems, but that it can amplify existing ones. And for professionals feeling isolated or sometimes overwhelmed, which happens a lot in this profession, AI's always available and non-judgmental presence can become a crutch rather than a tool. So here's the bottom line. Technology is a tool that amplifies your human tendencies, both positive and negative. And the same AI that helps a lonely person feel heard might also enable their isolation. The responsibility lies both, yes, with the developers to build thoughtfully, but also with us as users to engage mindfully. And OpenAI is making these adjustments after 2 years, not the 10 plus years it took social media platforms to even acknowledge these issues and then end up testifying before Congress because there were problems. There are problems. That's progress worth celebrating, but the real test will come in the real world with millions of users that they have. And the question isn't whether AI will become central to our lives. I think it will. It is already in many cases. The growth is staggering. The question is whether we'll build these tools to serve us or whether we'll once again find ourselves serving them. As someone who's spent my career in social and digital media and content creation and marketing and business development strategy, I've seen firsthand how these technologies can transform businesses and practices, build communities, and create meaningful connections. The key is thoughtful implementation as well as continuous improvement. And OpenAI's approach suggests that they're taking these lessons seriously, and that benefits all of us. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending a few legal marketing minutes with me. I know your time is valuable, so I always appreciate you spending a few of them right here. If you're in a place where you can leave a comment, please do so, as I'd love to hear from you. If not, you can always message me or email me at nancy@merlandmarketing.com, and that's MYRLAND marketing.com. Until next time, I'm Nancy Merland. Take care.